All right, everyone, I'm back, and today we are going to be doing an updated review on the Quantum X vacuum cleaner. Hey! And I've actually gotten quite a few requests on an update on it, and finally just let you guys know how it's been working for the past 9 months, almost going on 10 months. And so I have a few things that I wrote down to try and remember what to cover. The first question is going to be, well, do I still like it? Do I still think that it's worth it? And I will give the simple answer that yes, I still think that it was worth it. I still really do like it. And I do have some notes or some feedback in regards to what I don't like about it. And I still, of course, really enjoy a lot of the perks. To start off, let's talk about the vacuum suction. And is it still just as powerful today as it was when I first got it? The answer is yes. I still feel as though it picks up just as much gunk as it did at the very beginning. I have heard or seen some people mention reviews of how theirs breaks down. Mine has not. I've been very lucky, very blessed, I guess, that I haven't had any issues with mine thus far, whether it's electrical or suction or the filter or breaking of anything. It has all been exactly as the first day that we bought it. So far, so good for us. Ease of handling. So that is probably one of the things that does bother me a little bit still today. If I ever do the extension, for mine, it still wobbles back and forth. So because of how heavy the water is, when you're pushing it and you are trying to maneuver it to turn, it will more easily just kind of fall with the water to the right or to the left. I actually don't extend it very often at all. I actually prefer to just keep it all the way down. I don't have a lot of places that require just the head to go underneath very far. I'm the kind of person that actually likes to move furniture around. So for me, it's a great thing to use when I can't move something that's heavy and the head does fit underneath. But for other items that I can just easily move around, like chairs and such, I'll just move those instead. Now, it is still quite heavy, of course, and that was the same from the very beginning. It's a heavy, hefty vacuum. It has to be. If it's going to have that powerful of a suction, and if it's going to do everything that it claims to be able to do, it has to have weight on it, because the parts are made out of, I'm assuming, very good heavy duty parts. So it is still a heavy vacuum. For taking it up and down the stairs, it's almost more convenient to just have two separate vacuums if you're going to be using it every day up and down the stairs. At the same time, it's a great exercise. I mean, it's just like carrying weights up and down. If you go to the gym, then you might as well use the vacuum to help you do a little bit of extra weight training. It's not terrible, but it is heavy. Vacuuming the stairs is still, it's a hassle. I don't find vacuuming the stairs as easy or as comfortable as I would with most other vacuums. The attachments that come with the vacuum, I haven't found a good one for stairs. It's just because of the way that they're made. I'm not the biggest fan of them. For vacuuming the stairs, it's not a very good, convenient vacuum. So if you have another vacuum that you can use for the stairs, it would probably be better, but it's extra frustrating to have to deal with it. The accessories themselves, going back to that is still probably my biggest pet peeve, because they don't have good suction enclosure. So especially if you're doing large portions of your carpet or of the floor that have water, you have nothing. None of the accessories are actually good for that. So I'm going to actually show you what I mean. I'm going to go grab the accessories right now.
Hello, everybody. Hope you enjoy Mommy's vacuum video.
Thank you. Okay, if you look at this, this is the water one, like laminate floors, your vinyl, your tile floors and stuff. That is not convenient in that it actually lessens the amount of suction because of the fact that there's no seal right here. There's no little rubber right here. But I believe that this doesn't come off. And if it does, then they never mention how. Oh. So I think with this, I'm sure there's plenty of people that use like the Swiffer. I'm assuming that this right here is actually so that you can push in the cloth, that little like fabric or material, so that way you can use it to clean with that, like using it almost as a mop. I've never done it, obviously, and I don't know. This is something else that really bothers me. It makes it difficult to, not necessarily to change angles, but like you have to use it to know what I'm talking about. But when this is in there, and of course you're holding it several tubes high, so you're going like this and you're trying to go straight, it kind of turns at an angle, and then sometimes it kind of gets stuck because of the pressure that you're putting on it. So it's not always the best in terms of just movement of keeping it like that. My biggest thing with this though is still that, how am I supposed to get big portions of water with this, which you would think would be a fantastic tool, but there's no suction. So you're basically using this, which is the size of about, I can't even get 2 fingers completely in. This is what you're using to mostly suck up water or big accidents, or if you're trying to spot clean. So for small spots, it's fantastic. For much bigger spots, it can start to get a little bit more difficult. That's my big deal with the accessories that I don't like, is the fact that what it's supposed to be for, which is for the water portion, is not the best tool for that. I end up finding that I don't use this one and I don't use this one very often at all. This tool, I have to say, is this one's for pet hairs. It turns with the suction, and it actually does a fantastic job picking up the dog and cat hairs that we have, so your fluff and your things like that. However, if you put too much pressure on this, then this doesn't turn at all. As much strength as the vacuum may have, if you're putting too much pressure, then it's not moving because there's no airflow in it. Then this side is supposed to be more for scraping. You can see that. So they're rubber, they're hard little rubbers. For the most part, I do like to use actually this one a lot on the couches, and especially on my curtains. This is the only tool that I've actually found it works better than anything else that I've tried. I've even tried tape, I've tried those lint rollers, I've tried even just the vacuum itself, like just the tube alone, and it does not do as good of a job as these tiny little brushes do on here. For some reason, they just pick it up really well. If that's something that you're looking into regarding this vacuum, is it good for pets and for picking up their fur? Absolutely. And I have 2 dogs. I have a Norwegian elk hound, and so she sheds a lot. She's of the Spitz family. And then we have a Pitsky. So he's a pit bull husky. Although he has the thin fur, he does shed a lot. And then we have 2 cats. And so all 4 of them shed like nobody's business. Even if you vacuum, you know, every single day, you still find big chunks of fur here and there. I do like using the tube most of the time for that, especially for corners. And it does have this one, which is very good for little smaller areas. You just put these. So I do like that it comes with 3, so that gives you a pretty good range. Now the other thing I want to talk about is malfunctions, which I did mention already. Our vacuum, we've been very lucky, very blessed that we haven't had any malfunctions with our vacuum so far. Everything has worked very well. Nothing has broken. There are no cracks, and it's a pretty heavy duty vacuum, which is great. So all in all, do I still feel that it is worth it? The answer is yes. I do still feel that it was worth our money. I am still very happy that we bought it. When it comes to pros versus the cons, I still think that the pros outweigh the cons. Even though our stairs could maybe be easier, we do have carpet on our stairs. When we eventually change those out to just be wooden planks on there, it will be easier to vacuum that, because then we can use any one of these to be able to just easily pick that up. versus trying to do the stairs, the carpet with just this. The carpet that they use on the stairs that are concrete going up, they ended up using almost like that industrial carpet that is super flat. Please let me know if you have any other questions about the vacuum itself. I hope that this answers the majority of your questions in regards to how well it works. Is it still great? And what I'll do is I'll do a quick vacuuming right now of my upstairs so that way you guys can see that it still does a really great job. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. So thank you very much, guys. Alright guys, so just as luck would have it, I was getting the vacuum ready to vacuum the rug upstairs, and I accidentally spilled the water that was in the container. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's also a perfect excuse to be able to show you guys what I mean about the suction with the attachment. This is with it pointing downwards, and then that's with it upward. If I'm just holding it at what I consider to be a comfortable angle, then it is not fully on the floor. So I don't know if you guys can see, there you go, you can see the water. So let me go ahead and vacuum so you guys can be able to see how well or not well it does. And I'll pause right now so you guys can see how much water there is to start with. I mean, it picked up a decent amount, I guess, but the floor is still fair. Like, there's some spots. It's so hard to see on the camera, and it's unfortunate, but there's still some spots that look like not much was done. We're still working on this bathroom, so that's why we don't have any edging done. It did okay. I would still go back over this with a mop, of course. Well, in terms of picking up maybe a big amount of the water, that wasn't too bad, because now if I just go back with the mop, it works out pretty good because that's a good amount. And even just that little bit that it vacuumed actually shows you that my floor was dirty. So so I'm gonna empty this out. Now usually you want to just throw this outside, but I'm in the bathroom, so I'm just gonna toss it down the toilet actually, because this, I didn't pick up anything but dirt. So all you do is you grab this, and I always kind of push off of here too, so I have a little bit of help, and I pull up on the black, and that's it. So you just pull that up. I like to wash this out as well because a lot of the junk gets stuck in that spot right there. Drop that here in the toilet and just flush it, only because I know that I don't have any major items in there. So now I'm just gonna rinse it out. Get some clean water. And you'll want to clean the inside right here too, because it does gather debris up top. Then you just put it right back there. Just make sure that it's all the way down. And now the reason it fell earlier is because I was holding on to the black part and not the handle. So you want to make sure that you're holding both. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to pop it in. Other times it's not. There. That's all you do. Now just remember that you actually cannot suck up water with the vacuum set up like this if you don't have the attachment to it, because the bottom, this part right here, is not made for sucking up water. Now I'm going to go vacuum the carpet. Okay, here it is. All right, so as you can tell that this one, of course, picked up a lot more, so this one I will toss outside. Obviously, it's still doing a really good job. This water's really dark. You saw how clear it was, of course, to begin with. So all in all, I still think it was worth it. And if you are still considering whether you should buy it or not, I think it really comes down to your finances and does it hit everything that you want it to. For me, it was that I wanted a water vacuum, and this one hit that. We also have a shop vac for a bunch of other things. Really, it's up to you whether you think it's worth it or not. For me, it was. For my family, it was. And I think that there are some changes or improvements that they could make to it. Besides those little things that for me are cons, there are still many pros. So thanks so much, guys. Hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope you have a wonderful day and rest of your week. Bye.